Stand by for ludicrous speed.
Okay, my dear Greg Saunders.
Gregory.
Eagle looking great. Your go.
Greg Saunders.
Greg Saunders.
Greg Saunders!
Wow. Hey, great.
Look at it.
We interrupt this sound file to bring you a terrifying announcement.
Are you aware that you're leaking coolant at an alarming rate?
Show us the skills that have made you a media darling.
Well, I'm glad we got all that out in the open.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Saturday Morning Dateline Show.
And we're having fun trying something brand spanking new today, which could be, it could be terrible. It could be, it could be bad. We're trying real hard to make it good. And we're trying real hard to make it better. So, you know, sometimes you got to take 2 steps backward before you can take 5 steps forward. Many superheroes wear capes because they're trying to hide the zipper on the back of their onesie. I'm Greg. Tom Warner's trying to log in with this new platform we're trying to use. Hopefully we'll have Joanne Stewart from Pause with us and special guest Matt Nestor, who's, you may recall, back in the day when he was co-hosting a sports show on WROK with our buddy Tom Warner. He, these days, works with the Ice Hogs, the Rockford Ice Hogs, and I want to talk to him a little bit about that. Catch up with him on some sports stuff. Of course, last week's football games were something epic, and we'd kind of like to talk a little bit about how that all went down, which was absolutely crazy. I'm just, we're all still a little in shock as far as Packers fans go, because that's, it's a rare day when your favorite team loses a game and yet doesn't give up a single offensive touchdown. That's a rarity. So, you like my haircut? Got me a new fresh do. Liking that. And Tom's going to try a different computer. I have not yet heard from Joanne as far as if she's tried to log in yet, because she uses a like an iPad. So that will be interesting to see if that works with this new platform. I really hope it does, because this is a very, very cool platform that I'd like to be able to use. I like that. My background is on, but you don't need it right now because of the situation that we're currently in. Was this just me on the screen? Let's see, background show. There we go. Now we're talking. See, there's some really cool graphic things that I'm gonna like if we can use it. I think we can. I hope we can. Also want to check real quick that we are actually on Facebook at the moment. And the thing about this Restream service is, yep, there it is. Awesome. It allows us to webcast on multiple platforms at the same time, whereas using Zoom, it was not something that was optional. It was pick one, that's it. And yeah, so would really like to be able to be on these multiple platforms at the same time, if at all possible. And with this platform, we can. All right, let's see if I go to this page, if this is showing what I hope it's showing. I did test this out yesterday, by the way, and it looked pretty good. See, now I'm not seeing what I was hoping I would see right there. So where are you going here? Sending data. Okay, that can turn off. It's going to that. It's going to that. It's going to these wonderful places here. And, oh, there it is. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So, yeah, sorry for all of the testing as we fly here. But I do believe it's going to be worth it in the long run. Why aren't we? See, I'm not sure. Oh, there the YouTube stream. But, I do believe it's going to be worth it, and that's where it's supposed to be. I like that. And from YouTube, we can share over there. And there's Joanne. Hey, we'll get Joanne in here. Hi, Joanne. Good morning.
My iPad is working today, so you have to mute.
You're muffling your microphone. So I can barely hear you.
I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing.
You know what's really cool now about this platform, Joanne? I actually have a volume control for you and Tom now.
Oh, so you can shut us up.
Well, I can turn you down or up.
Which is good. You don't have to mute us then.
Yeah, I don't have to completely mute you, which is awesome.
Is Tom on?
He's having some issues with his laptop, so he's trying his other laptop.
Oh.
And so I'm going to put you on pause here, Joanne, because our special guest is joining us. All right?
I'm not special.
You're extremely special, Joanne. You can stand by. Stand by. Matt Nestor's joining us this morning. How you doing, Matt?
Good. How are you, Greg?
You might need a headset or something because I'm getting active big time.
Yeah. I could probably find one here.
If you can find any kind of headset, otherwise I'm gonna have to like turn you way down while I talk and then stop talking and turn you back up.
Give me one. Well, I was trying to look this morning. I couldn't find what I was looking for. Give me a moment. Let me see what I can find here.
All right, sounds good. All right, we're figuring things out, guys. We're figuring things out. That's all right. It's a little speed bump. That's okay. We can handle it. Because in the overall scheme of things, this is going to be better. All right. So while we're waiting for Tom to still log in and for Matt to find himself some headsets so there's not this crazy echo, why don't we do this? Let's do our big number of the week. Our weekly big number is a very big number this week. It is 12.2 billion. 12, yeah. 12.2 billion is the big number of the week. And the answer is visitors or value. Visitors or value. Hi, Tom. Whoop,
I
whoop,
did it.
whoop.
All right.
You did it. All right.
Yeah, different computer.
And we got our buddy Matt Nestor.
Can you hear me okay now?
I sure can. And I don't get my info.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Good. How are you, Tom?
I'm good, I think. I got a lot of light behind me.
There you go.
You're here. That's the important part.
Don't I look like I'm in a warehouse? Like,
yeah.
The
you got
shelving unit behind me, as you can see, the other way. Oh, wow. Now I'm, whatever. Back that way. I don't know. I'm all turned around here.
So we're going to play real quick with some different screen options. Just look at this different things. See, I can make you guys tiny. I can make you guys tiny over there. We can be side by side, which kind of looks a little funky.
Oh, that's cool. That looks like Fox News or ESPN
right?
or something.
It's way funner. This is way funner than the old way. I think we'll go ahead and be equal like this right here. So what we like to do at the top of the show, Matt, here, and it's only 8:09. It's only took us 9 minutes to figure out, Tom. Well, 20. Got some shout outs to give this week, and you'll appreciate this, Tom, because we talked about you a little bit at In Crowd Thursday night.
All right.
Our in-crowd group met at PC Tech to You over on Alpine and Highcrest, and had a nice time noshing on some Sam's Pizza. It was awesome.
Sounds good.
Met a
I
couple
missed
people.
it.
Yeah, we were like I said, we were talking about you, and we mentioned the fact that if we're gonna have in-crowd that includes Tom Warner, we got to have it somewhere clear, near to where he's doing a trivia night. So
I couldn't have made it this Thursday anyway. I got COVID. I'm done with it now, but
okay.
I've had COVID the last week. So.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's been a crazy week.
Well, you look and sound okay. What were your symptoms for this bout?
Sore throat. Tired. Very, very tired. Same as last time. Second time I've had it. So
All right.
today is the day that I'm COVID free.
Awesome.
My 5 days, 6 days. So it's actually 7 days. I think I got it last Saturday night during that Packer game. The Packer game made me sick. That's all I can say.
It made us that sick as it made Matt to watch those Cowboys lose.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
terrible. Although I was expecting it. Like, I wasn't a surprise at this point.
Well, after
Like,
Saturday night's game, watching the Packers fall to the 49ers, I never wished more for a Cowboys victory the week before.
Well, I mean, things would have been completely different at that point. I think had the Cowboys won, you would have been playing the Rams.
Right.
And
yeah.
no,
you're exactly right.
yeah. And while the Rams are in the championship game right now, I think I'd rather take my chances with against Matt Stafford in the playoffs. I don't know. Maybe he's going to prove me wrong, but I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop there.
I'm not a Matt Stafford fan. When you can,
I never have been. No.
And I know we blame it on Detroit. Well, he played in Detroit. What do you expect? Well, I still expect him not to throw careless interceptions. He looks like Brett Favre out there.
Yeah, well, and here's I laugh when people say that. They're like, well, he was in Detroit. It was Detroit's fault, and he's obviously got a better team around him now. When you look at guys like Donald, Ramsey, Cooper Kupp, things like that. But his stats are basically identical to what they were in Detroit.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's still the same guy he's always been, just more talent around him. So yeah, I guess from that standpoint, you can blame it on Detroit, but he's still the same guy he's always been. Throwing bad interceptions and
look at what Jared Goff did with that Detroit team. Forget about the record because this was a team. You talk about a hard luck team. I mean, how many games did they lose in the last second? They lost the Baltimore game with time expired. So Justin Tucker's field goal of 66 yards probably shouldn't even have counted.
Right.
But you look at all the games. Go back, and I haven't done this. I don't have time, but I will one day. One day I will. Maybe one day, like when I have COVID, I'm home all week. Maybe I can do it then. By the way, I watched about 30 episodes of one of my favorite TV shows of all time, Scorpion. That's what I've done all week. I've been just vegging. I love that show. No, but anyway, you look at Jared Goff's numbers, and I'm going to guess that they're fairly close to Matt Stafford numbers. I'm not talking about yards, and I'm not necessarily talking about – I'm talking about – like in-game management, like interception to touchdown ratio. I'm taking a chance on this. I think I'd be fairly close on this because I don't think Jared Goff is that bad. And remember, Jared Goff did get LA to a Super Bowl. 2 years?
That he did. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So if if Matt Stafford does not make it to a Super Bowl, then Jared Goff can say, you know what? I got him there. What happened to you, buddy? With a better team.
Same if I don't get him to a Super Bowl. So
that's right. Or Matt Patricia, you're lookalike.
Right,
so
right.
We've got a LaFleur, an Eberflus, and a Campbell in the NFC North coaching right now. Are the Vikings going to hire someone with a very different name or a Smith or something? What are we going to get?
Right. I think the best part is that the Bears they fired a Ryan and a Matt just to hire another Ryan and a Matt.
I know. That's hilarious. I heard Matt Poole or whatever his name is, Matt something.
Ryan Poole.
Yep. Oh, that's what I meant. I'm sorry, Ryan Poole or Poole, whatever. What is it? Poole.
Ryan Poole's and Matt Eberflus.
Right, but it's not Poole. It's something like that, isn't it?
Pools,
yeah.
P-O-L-E-S.
Okay, it ends with an S. But anyway, and I thought, wait, no, it's Ryan Pace. This is before I heard that they had hired him. Of course, I knew they fired Ryan Pace a couple of weeks ago, but whatever. Anyway, it was funny. And Ryan P. and Matt E.
They didn't want to expand their search beyond names that they know. So
yeah, exactly. I'm waiting for the Bears to have a 3-3 14 season or whatever equals 17.
Well, I tell you what, I'm sure sure as a Packers fan, you're on pins and needles to see what Rodgers is going to do.
You know, I've seen this movie before. It didn't work this year. And it's not because it's Aaron Rodgers, but it may well be one of those things. Maybe there was that underlying of we don't know what's going on, and maybe the gods just decided, sorry, you're not going to get it this time. You're a big crybaby. If Aaron Rodgers leaves, I'll deal with it. I don't care. I really don't care. I said the exact same thing last year. I said, you know what? I'm tired of the drama. Let's see what Jordan Love can do. And then we saw what Jordan Love can do, and I'm like, ooh, no, I don't really want him to leave, but I also don't want the drama.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think if Rodgers leaves, the NFC North could become what the NFC East was there for a few years, really fast. It could get real bad.
Yeah,
that's a good point. And I'm with Tom. I'm 50-50 on what Rodgers decides to do. If he stays, great. If he goes, great. I guess if he stays, I hope they can restructure his contract, give him like his 4 or 5 year extension, whatever, make him a Packer for life. And because the dude is smart enough, he just lacks that something.
He doesn't have great people skills, I don't think.
Yeah. I think something with his people skills.
I think he reads his own headlines. He watches himself in the commercials going, man, I'm good. Watches himself on Jeopardy, and I did that. How many of us could ever say we hosted Jeopardy? You know, I mean, only a handful get to do that. And I think he reads his own headlines thinking he's so much better than everyone else. Well, that's not going to work on the football field because they don't care about your Jeopardy experience. They don't care about your State Farm commercials. They don't care about anything other than can you win on the field? And yes, he does. And yes, he can. And yes, he will. The bigger problem I saw was jostling that offensive line. That you put back Billy Turner and you took out the guy who is getting you there, the guy who's been doing it for the last 7 or 8 weeks. I forget, a rookie. I can't remember his name. It escapes me now. It wasn't Josh Myers. It was Neiman. Yosh Neiman or something like that. He's the guy that's been doing it for the last 7 or 8 weeks. You disrupt the flow of your line. You already disrupted it by losing Corey Linsley, David Bakhtiari, Elton Jenkins. Yeah. You were out there with 60% of your line completely new, rookies, whatever. But you made it work. And now you change it up for a game with a very physical team. And Aaron Rodgers kind of looked like a video game back there. He was running for his life most of the game.
Well, I think the bigger point is just what the San Francisco defense has done here the last few weeks, you know, kind of getting into the playoffs. And then once they've got in there, I mean, that defensive line, it's kind of funny because everybody thought coming into the year that their defense was going to be strong and kind of carry the team. And then they struggled for a long time. But, boy, they have figured it out here in the playoffs. Bosa has played really well. You know, they're getting after the passer, and you know they did it against Dallas, they did it against Green Bay, and there's a good chance they're going to do it against the Rams as well.
Welcome to the State Line Sports Hour. Our guest today is Greg Saunders.
I knew this was going to happen, and I'm loving it. It's absolutely fine.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Got to give a couple more shout-outs before we get any more deeper, because I do want to ask Matt a little bit about Ice Hogs, because he's been working over there for a while now. But quick little shout-out here to my Starlight Theater buddies. We had a party Saturday night, and before the party, obviously, I asked the host, I said, is there going to be a football playoff game on a screen somewhere? And they're like, yes, we'll have it on a screen. So the husband of the host, you know, he was very happy I asked about the football game. and he being not a Packers fan, nobody else in the room besides my wife and I were Packers fans, so they weren't necessarily rooting with me, but it was just kind of it was a dumbfounded evening. We were having a great time with the Starlight folks, and then watching this game going, what in the world's going on? What? I really didn't think special teams was going to blow the game like they did, but they sure did.
Right.
Thank you, Starlight family, for, coddling me slightly and giving, giving me hope for humanity while I wanted to throw a beer bottle through the TV screen. We survived. As far as SOT, as far as real estate stuff goes this week, I want to give a quick shout out to Ben and Megan. They're over at Rockford Roasting Company. This is the second house Ben's bought with me, and they bought a house there right by Mississippi Park. It's a awesome location. It's beautiful view, and congratulations to Ben and Megan on their new house. They are going to love that. And got this week helped get under contract 2 houses for couples moving here, for people moving here from other states. Someone from Wisconsin, a family moving here from Wisconsin, and a family moving back here from Colorado. People ask me a lot, guys, where are these buyers coming from? Why are there so many buyers? And we're like, well, there's a lot of these millennials who've been living at home and they're in their mid-20s or nearing, 30 years old. They're ready to buy a house. They're coming out of the woodwork or the basements, if you will. And then you've got people that are moving back because they just love the Midwest. They love the Rockford area and they miss it. They moved away either for work or they thought they wanted to be, they were snowbirds, and then they decided they don't want to snowbird anymore. They actually like living here through the winter, even though it's so dang cold. So that's what's happening right now. So kudos to the folks who are coming back here. And as I was mentioning, Tom, the in crowd, we talked about you a little bit, and Landscape Connection over on Mulford, Mulford and is it Linden? I forget the
probably. I know there's Landscape by Walter is over there, but that's on, I think, Perry.
No. Landscape Connection.
Okay, all right.
Used to be Fritchen's Nursery back in the day. So,
okay, I know where it is.
Landscape
Connection. Linden. You're right.
Yeah, I'm on South Mulford. They've owned the place now for like 10 years. It's a beautiful store, and Michelle was at our in crowd. We talked a lot on Thursday night, and I wanted to give her a shout out and shout out her new product. She's making candles now, which they're selling at the store and on their new Etsy page, and they're growing and doing some awesome things. So kudos to Landscape Connection and the stuff that they are doing there. So that covers my shout outs. We already talked Packers and a little bit of football. Before we get to Ice Hogs, any predictions for the weekend, the games tomorrow? Tom and I tied, basically. I think we could say we tied for last weekend because we both picked LA to beat Tampa Bay. We got that one right. I picked Cincinnati. You picked Tennessee. That was obviously a nail biter that Cincinnati pulled off.
Yeah.
And I was big on Buffalo. Man, I got excited when they were up with 13 seconds to go.
Yep.
And Kansas City won, and Tom picked Kansas City. So I think essentially we tied last weekend with our picks.
Yeah. I did pick Kansas City reluctantly. I wanted to pick Buffalo. I obviously picked the Rams over the Buccaneers. Green Bay over San Francisco, 34-23. It could have come to fruition if one other thing I wanted to say about Green Bay.
Yes.
How many times did Aaron Rodgers miss Ellen Lazard or miss Randall Cobb because he kept focusing on Devontae Adams? He threw into triple coverage with Devontae one time, and I'm like, what are you, Brett Favre? Because
the last play of the game, Alan Lazard was all alone.
Yep.
All alone, and he threw double coverage to Devontae, and it really wasn't close. It was like
I think it's the San Francisco pass rush, though. I think that's what it was. I think it gets in your head after a while, and you just, you're used to having to get rid of it quick, and I think that's what happens. I was, looking back through some plays during the Dallas-San Francisco game, and Prescott was doing the same thing where he was just, getting through his progressions too fast. He was dumping the ball off, and there's guys wide open 15, 20 yards down the field where it's just like, why is that not where you were going with the ball? You had the time. But I think after that pass rush comes in so many times like that, even as professionals, I think it gets in your head after a while.
Yeah, and really Green Bay was most guilty of simply not adjusting. You had that game in hand. You were up 7-3. You should have been up 14-3, but literally you should have been up 10-3. There's no way that they should have allowed special teams. Once again, they should not have allowed the kick to be blocked because that is your blocking scheme right there. You had Dean Lowry, and I love Dean. We all love Dean, but you had Dean Lowry and you had Tyler Lancaster on your offensive line blocking for the kick. And this is another thing. Exactly. You got two defensive guys in there. I know they're big, but they're not blockers. They're rushers. They're guys that rush the quarterback, not block for the quarterback. So why didn't you just do what you normally do? And I don't know if that's where the single point of entry was or whatever, but two times they got through and blocked a kick and then the other one was their touchdown, the punt. Wow.
Just
It was like
Or-
Green Bay, Seattle all over again. 5 or 6 different things had to happen for that to go that way. I'm good because I've learned not to take it too seriously. This is the first chance I've had to really vent. I couldn't wait for today because, especially with you coming on, Matt, I wanted to, renew our old show or whatever and
Right.
talk a little football. So thanks, Greg, for indulging us. I'm done now.
Absolutely. So, this week's predictions. You've
They
got-
went so well for me last week. If you're a betting man, do not listen to what I have to say.
Let's start with the Cincinnati, Kansas City. I'm pulling for the underdog. I'm pulling for Cincinnati. I know it's a long shot.
My heart is with Cincinnati. My head is with Kansas City. Can't root against Kansas City here.
After the last 2 weeks, the offense for Kansas City struggled so much of the season, and it just feels like Mahomes has found it now. The way they played last week, especially, but even the week before, I just in Kansas City, I can't go against Mahomes, and yeah, I do think it'll be a fun game. I think it'll be a shootout. I could definitely see this being kind of like a 38-31 kind of game. Last team to get the ball, wins kind of thing. But I can't go against Mahomes. I can't go against Kansas City right now.
Last I checked, and I wasn't checking, but I was listening to the score. Last I heard, I think the points were 12.5. I think Kansas City was favored by like 12.5, if I remember right.
That might be too much.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So with the points, I'd take Cincinnati for sure.
I mean, Cincinnati did beat them just a couple of weeks ago, and I know that was in Cincinnati. Yeah. This is in Kansas City. Joe Burrow's a young quarterback. Mahomes has been there, but 12.5 seems like too much.
Boy, this hat's driving me nuts. It should just come off. Now I look like Matt Nagy, don't I? Anyway, all right. So Cincinnati, I think the train ride ends here, and I think Kansas City is going to figure out what Joe Burrow did to him the first time. 536 yards, 17 touchdowns. I don't know, whatever it was. I think Kansas City figures it out. And I think the game is going to cover the 12 and then some. I think it's going to be like 34-13. I think it's going to be a fairly big, decisive win for Kansas City. I want Cincinnati to win. I'm rooting for Cincinnati, but I think it's going to be Kansas City all the way. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it's going to be Kansas City and San Francisco in the Super Bowl. And I think San Francisco is your Super Bowl champion. That defense is unbelievable. That defense hits hard, and I think they're going to confuse Matt Stafford. Because if you can confuse Dak Prescott, a very good quarterback, and you can confuse Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest of all time, you can certainly confuse Matt Stafford.
And they have twice this year.
I know they have, as has a lot of other people. If you look back at Matt Stafford's wins, some of those wins he shouldn't have had. He shouldn't have had. The one just recently, 20-19. I can't remember who they beat. It was like week 16, week 17. They got so lucky. Baltimore, I think it was Baltimore.
Yeah.
My God, they got so lucky. They shouldn't have won that game. Matt Stafford threw 3 or 4 interceptions. No.
So, I mean, the formula for the Rams has been jump out to a big lead and then kind of hold on. One of the things, I know we've talked a lot about Stafford, but one of the things with the Rams is Sean McVay is also not very good at adjustments. And, I think that's why you've seen them blow some big leads and things of that nature. I think to me, the key for San Francisco, and I know the last week of the season they fell behind big and then were able to come back. I think the key for them is just don't get behind big early. I think if they can keep it close in the first half, whether they have a little bit of a lead or even if they're down by, 3-7 points, something like that, just kind of keep it within striking distance because, I don't believe in that Rams coaching staff to make adjustments. And I think if it's close, I think San Francisco can turn around and pull that off.
Well, I agree. Absolutely. You look at what happened last week. They're up 27-3. Granted, that's Tom Brady, and he's done it before. Tom Brady is just phenomenal. There's just something weird and almost androidish about him. There's something odd about him where he can do that kind of stuff. So we saw last week Tom Brady at his finest, but we also saw the LA Rams at their worst. What they do is they give up leads. So if San Francisco holds them close in the first half, ball game. Game over. Even if San Francisco is down by 14, 17 points, I still won't count out San Francisco because I think they'll adjust in the second half and not give up a single point in the second half and come back and score 2 or 3 touchdowns. San Francisco all the way, and I hate saying that.
I hate saying that. I think it's going to be the Rams. I think it's for the second year in a row. The home Super Bowl team wins in their own stadium. And I think the Rams defense is enough, and their special teams doesn't suck like the Packers special teams. So
I say everything we've said about them. I do think the Rams win. I do think that they're going to pull it off. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in a season, especially when, despite their flaws, the Rams are the more talented team. So I think we see Rams. I think we see Chiefs, and but I think it's going to be a Chiefs Super Bowl this year. I think they're winning it. I felt like watching that Chiefs-Bills game last week, I felt like whoever won that was going to win this whole thing. I felt like those were the 2 best teams. And, so to me, it's going to be Chiefs over Rams.
I like the meme that said NFL's decided to cancel the rest of the games. It's a best of 7 between Bills and Chiefs.
Yep.
Greg, I'm with you on that. I want LA to win it. I'd like to see them win it in their home turf. I would, but I think there's 2 intangibles here. Number 1, the Niners are better coached. I don't think that's any secret. And 2, the Niners are more physical. They may not be as talented. They may not have Matt Stafford, Van Jefferson, Odell Beckham Jr., Cooper Kupp, but I believe they are more physical, and that physicality is what scares other guys. That's what Cooper Kupp's going to be going over the middle, going, oh, whoa, am I going to get hit? He's fragile, man. He's frail.
All right, so there's our predictions for the upcoming rest of the season. Ice Hogs, the Rockford Ice Hogs, they got the Milwaukee Admirals coming to town this Wednesday night, I think it is.
Correct.
And, what can you tell us about the Ice Hogs, Matt? What's it been like working for them, and how's their season going?
Yeah, so I mean, working for them has been great. As I'm sure everybody's aware, the Blackhawks purchased the team here, almost a year ago now, and just great organization, just the way they take care of people. I couldn't say enough good things about them. I have enjoyed the transition. It was very much a bet on yourself, chase your dreams kind of situation. I was in banking a long time, and the opportunity came up, and I just always wanted to work in sports and said, why not do it? If we don't do it now, when are we ever going to do it? So, definitely enjoyed the transition. But when you look at the team's been playing well lately. The record, they're 15, 14, 3-1. They've got points in their last 3 games. They're kind of in the middle of the pack there, fighting for playoff position right now. But when you kind of look at the record, they started the season off on the road, a very, very long road trip, because we were finishing up some improvements in the stadium, things of that nature. And it was just tough to start the season on the road and things like that. They kind of fell a little bit behind, but ever since then, they've really been playing good hockey. I think that record is even better than it indicates. They're over 500, but I think it's even better, when you kind of factor in the start they had to the season. They've really been playing well. It starts, for me at least, as a fan, I work there, but I'm also a fan. It starts with Lukas Reichel. He was their first-round pick in 2020. Leads the team in goals, leads the team in assists, 26 points. Every bit the top prospect that the Blackhawks want, but also the kind of top prospect that does well at this level. He's really, really playing well. I would encourage everybody to come out and see him while you can. He's going to be a long-time Blackhawks player, going to be a star for them, and it's a good chance to get out and see him while he's here. Because you don't always get to see that kind of talent, at this level. I think it's a rare opportunity to see somebody that I think is going to be a great player for a long, long time. But they got a lot of other guys that are playing well. Dylan McLaughlin has been playing well. Ian Mitchell, Josiah Slavin, those are guys that have been kind of up and down with the Blackhawks. In this kind of crazy COVID year where guys are going up and down, it seems like all the time, but they've played well. Michael Tepley's really been coming on strong lately. He's had a lot of points. Been getting good play in the goal as well. Soderblom, Delia, have been playing very, very well. It's an exciting time. The team is playing well. We're starting to get a lot of buzz and excitement back in the building. Obviously there was a long stretch without fans, and but the fans have enjoyed coming back. We've got a lot of fans jumping on board. We started selling our 2022-23 season tickets, and we're off to a really, really strong start there with new fans jumping on board, kind of feeling that excitement, excited to be back out, doing things in the arena, things like that. And, it's going really, really well.
I like this promotion that they're running this Wednesday, Winning Wednesday. If the Ice Hogs win, you get a free ticket to the next Ice Hogs
weeknight game. Yeah. Yep.
So if they win Wednesday and you're there in attendance, you get to go to the next weekday game on the Ice Hogs.
Yep, which is Iowa on the 15th of February. So yeah, come on out, support us. We've played some really, really good games with Milwaukee. We've had some battles with them. In fact, we've played them twice here recently. We played them last night. We played them last week at some point, and both games went to overtime. We've had some strong physical battles, some penalties. Definitely some aggressive play out there and things of that nature. It's been a couple of really good games. So definitely would encourage people to come out to that one. Obviously, encourage you to come out to all of the games, but Milwaukee, we've had some really good battles with, and that's definitely a game that I think would be awesome to come see.
What's the bigger rivalry, the Admirals or the Chicago Wolves?
I would say the Wolves are the bigger rival. Honestly, we've had better games with Milwaukee this year, just from that standpoint. But the Wolves are definitely the bigger rival. We've had some pretty festive games, I guess you could say. A lot of fireworks when we play the Wolves. The games haven't necessarily been close, whether we win or they win. And it's actually kind of funny because the Wolves are leading the division right now. They're playing really, really good hockey. But we've got a winning record against them. We've played them very well this year. Which I'm sure is part of that is a rivalry, and that kind of leads to some of that those fun games that you have sometimes. But just from a pure hockey standpoint, I think we've had better games with the Admirals this year.
Good deal. Well, Wednesday night, if you get a chance, check out the Ice Hogs. It's been a while since I've been out there, so I hope to get out there before the season's all done here too. So icehogs.com, very easy to find online, and there's links for shopping hogware, getting season tickets, downloading their app, their schedule, and you can even watch games live on their website or app. So it's a well-run organization. Matt gets to be a part of it. And how long have you been with them now, Matt?
About 4 months now.
About 4 months. So
Very nice.
Well, I'm so glad you were able to jump on with us. If they make a run in the playoffs, we'll have to have you back so we can promote that too. Anytime. All right, buddy. Any final words before we let you go?
Come out to the Ice Hogs. We got Milwaukee on Wednesday. We got Iowa on Saturday next week. Chicago the week after that on Friday. Come out and join us. Give me a call. Let me know. I'll take care of you. And, otherwise looking forward to some good football this weekend. Like I said, I think it's Chiefs. I think it's Rams. But I do think you're going to get two really good games. It's been a really good playoffs for that. So, otherwise it's been great catching up. Great to see you guys, and really enjoyed it.
All right. Thanks, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
Again, bud.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bye-bye.
And Matt Nestor with the Rockford Ice Hogs, and a longtime sports co-host show on WROK with Tom Warner. Joanne's out there. Where are you? Yeah, you're at Pause HQ. I can see you.
My battery is really low, so I might be gone.
Oh no. Well,
why don't we do the big number now then?
Should we do the big number right away?
Might as well. I never even heard it earlier. So
okay. Well, let's go ahead and do the big number right away then, so we don't lose Joanne. Our big number of the week this week is 12.2 billion with a B. 12.2 billion is a big number. The answer this week is visitors or value. Visitors or value. And at last check, the score was 2-1 with Tom in the small 1-point lead. All right. So I need to get back to using the drum roll or something again. Hey, that was a lot. All right, give me your answer in 3, 2, 1, go.
Visitors.
What did you say, Joanne?
Value.
Oh, you did mix it up. Good for you. Okay, so Roblox. We've talked about Roblox in the past. It's one of these online games that's just it's like kind of like Minecraft or something like that, where you wander in this endless world. Roblox 2021 data revealed its most visited experience was a place called Brookhaven, a virtual city that had over 12.2 billion visitors last year. Tom, 12.2 billion visitors. Tom is up 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people have been visiting these online virtual experiences.
Am I ahead? I thought Tom was ahead.
Tom's ahead by 2 now. Tom's up 3-1. It's Tom's found his groove.
I found my groove. I'm Stella.
Big one.
He's got special teams. Beyond Meat is now valued at over about $4 billion. Beyond Meat, the most prominent publicly listed fake faux meat company. They make ground beef, burger, sausage, and chicken tender alternatives. The global plant-based market is projected to hit $16 billion by the year 2026. There's a lot of investment happening in the global plant-based market. So there you go. There's some things really quick to touch on before we go to pause 2. Illinois snow sculpting competition is this weekend. If you haven't checked it out yet, today they're doing the judging, which I think is from now until noon. So that's happening right now at Sinisippi Park. Of course, Sinisippi Station, Nicholas Conservatory, they've got that Sinisippi Station train thing that is wrapping up this weekend as well. Last day to see it is tomorrow. And Rockford North End is doing a hot chocolate crawl. They've done bar crawls in the past. Well, now they're doing a hot chocolate crawl today from 11 till 11. That's right. 12 hours of chocolate crawl all over the Rockford North End. You're talking Olympic Tavern and Mulligan's and the Norwegian and all those businesses up around there is where that is taking place today. So how are things over at Paws HQ today, Joanne?
It's a little quiet. We have 2 new dogs, but they're quiet dogs. They're kind of shy. They're feral dogs. I don't know if I can walk over there and show them. They're pin chihuahuas.
Pin chihuahuas. That sounds adorable.
Now, I always forget how to turn my camera around.
And it's not.
My
I'll try it again. There you go. That works. Aw.
They're a little bit scared, but so we only took in 2 dogs. They're 4 months old, but they're feral, so they're very scared.
Yeah. Got some transition to take place there to help them acclimate to
But they're young, so they
new surroundings.
But that's kind of the big. Otherwise, you can show a few cats. This is Taylor. Felicity and Curtis. I can't read today. Curtis. That's right. He's some tuxedo boys, I guess. And I think I'm going to cut this short because my battery's at the lowest. Look at that little guy.
Hello.
And then, of course, Sequoia. I think she's going to be our pet of the week or pet of the year.
Well, that's a big kitty right there.
It's more
I have a dog that's smaller than that.
This week's pet of the week, probably.
I can make her. I didn't send you a picture. I don't know if I'll be able to.
I think that's the pet family of the week. Looks like he ate the rest of them.
Next time I'll remember to bring my cord. because I'm on my phone today.
Okay.
Cat, Oliver. He doesn't like other male cats, so that's Oliver. So that's our life.
Well,
low.
we're just a couple weeks away from Fur Ball.
Yes. And we still are taking donations and we're still taking tickets. So let me do the little.
This would be the week to get that in, probably. If you're making a donation, get that into Paw's headquarters there over by the Cherryville Mall. And yeah, Fur Ball is Saturday, February 12th at the Radisson Hotel and Conference Center. Cocktails, silent auction starts at 5:30. Dinner and dancing at 6:30. Live music by Minimal.
But it'll still be fun.
It's going to be fun. Yes, yes, yes. Well, very much looking forward to it.
How can it not be fun?
All right. Since we got through we did our big number, we did our walkthrough. A couple of fun randoms to make things complete here. A study found if you only get exercise on the weekend, you're still in as good a shape as people who exercise every day. How about that? So if nothing else, at least exercise a couple times a week. Get out and get your body moving. And good.
I don't get that. If you're exercising every single day, how is some guy who sits on his butt all week and then does, walking, jogging, lifting, whatever on Saturday and Sunday? How's he in as good a shape as you?
I don't. It's something strange, but I've heard this in the past too, where it's not. Yes, you may have more endurance if you work out more often, but the endurance factor is one thing. The health factor is another. And there's a lot of health benefit to even just working out 20 minutes a couple times a week or a few times a week rather than 2 or 3, 4 hours. I mean, what is your goal? Is your goal to be big and bulky and have a 6-pack abs, or is it just to be healthy enough to be able to walk in and handle your normal daily activities? So yeah, it depends on your goal, but I know these days my goal is just to be able to, get out of bed on my own power every day and sit up and take nourishment. So if I can do that, I'm having a good day.
Wow.
I know, right? I'm big goals. I got to say this though. I had to get some medical tests this last week, and not a big scare, but just something to check out. And I did do a stress test for the very first time. So I had all the electrode stuff on my chest and stuff, and was on the treadmill. And I'm pretty sure the nurse technician person was just trying to make me feel good, but she said the 12 minutes I did on the treadmill was even as much as some runners do. I don't know if she was just, again, trying to make me feel better. But after the 3-minute warm up, the 9 minutes of kind of the stressful stuff, I was definitely feeling it after 12 minutes and sweating. And I was like, I could go longer, but I'm really starting to sweat, and I really don't want to turn into a sweaty mess here I'm not wearing gym shorts. Okay. I'm just wearing my normal pants. Actually, I was wearing
a house to show.
Right. I was wearing like not flannel pants, but lined pants. So they were extra warm. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to be a sweaty mess after we're all done. So like, can we be done? Yep. We got all we needed. So, anywho, 1 out of 3 millennials say that their biggest fear is credit card debt, even more than going to war.
Wow.
According to a professor, that he says that fear has helped fuel monster growth in the buy now, pay later services. 75% of users in the US are either millennials or Generation Z. So that if you ever see BNPL, that's buy now, pay later, careful when you do that. Careful when you do that, because you could get hit with big fines if you're late and stuff like that.
I'm not understanding what my phone is doing up. So isn't buy now, pay later the same as a credit card?
It depends on who you buy from, because I think some have interest rates and some don't. It's kind of like a layaway without, with being able to take the product now. You see more of that at auto, smaller auto dealerships than anywhere else, I think, with buy now, pay later. But you're paying the dealer. And the bottom line is, if you miss a payment or 2 or 3, whatever the agreement is, they take back the car. It's
so it's like a bookie. Okay. Yeah, like you pay up right now, or we come and take your car away and your house and your family and your pets. Okay.
Yeah. So careful. is all I'm saying. Careful.
Well, it almost sounds oxymoronic. Buy now, pay later. If you just bought it now, then why do you have to pay later? I bought it. So it doesn't make any sense. That's my literal brain. I'm sorry. But
It should be take it home and pay later.
There you go.
yeah, take it home and pay later.
Take it home, pay later. Did you know in Japan, vending machines will sell you cake in a can? There's cake in a can in vending machines in Japan, and that rhymes, and that's kind of funny. And all right, I'm going to see if this works. I was a trumpet player back in the day, and there is a video.
There you go, blowing your own horn again.
I am.
Probably leaving, but I will see you in an hour.
Okay. Yep. You will see me in an hour. That noise is a trumpet. Guess where it's playing?
I don't know.
In a bowl of Jell-O.
I love the laugh at the end.
I'm not sure if this is going to work or not. It's probably, no, it's not going to. All right, so that's enough of that. I wanted to show it to you, but I'm still learning this new system and the way this screen sets up. And with the share screen on Zoom would let me share just that screen. This one is wanting to share the entire screen or nothing. And I don't want to share the entire screen because that would be just goofy looking. So anyway, what do you, I'm happy. I hope you guys are happy with the new setup because this is so much cooler.
It's going to take some getting used to for me, but I got all kinds of weird things up on my right-hand side, my left-hand side. It's just all over.
It's a little different.
So a lot of distractions.
The same thing. When we started using Zoom, there was a learning curve, and with this, there's going to be a learning curve. But the graphics are better, and yeah, and right now, as of this moment, we're live streaming on Facebook, my personal page, on our Saturday Morning State Line Show page, and our Saturday Morning State Line Show YouTube channel, all at the same time.
Nice. Okay, so if somebody wants to catch us, they can obviously watch us live on any of those platforms. How do they log in? Do they log in Saturday Morning State Line like they used to on YouTube or Facebook, or what?
They can. And the thing that was drawing me back to YouTube was the fact that it was easier for people who are scrolling on a Saturday morning to find our video and stop and watch it. Whereas YouTube, most people don't just sit and scroll YouTube like they do Facebook. And so anyway, that's why I wanted to get back on Facebook Live. And this whole show, we've had viewers. I'm not sure if there's a chat feature on this thing. So I'm not sure if we had a whole lot of comments and stuff going on. But we'll work that out. We'll figure that out. And yeah, so kudos. We're doing breakfast at Sherry's place. So I'll see you guys in about an hour.
Sounds good. I'll be there.
All right. Thanks for watching the Saturday Morning State Line Show. Remember, you change the world when you help one person. Be a blessing to someone. This week, we'll do the same. Meet you back here. Bye, y'all.
Bye.